Good day, everyone. Welcome to the Quarryfest Deslotmania here at Quarry Heights Raceway Park. And it's D-Slots. Who loves D-Slots? We love D-Slots. We love D-Slots.
Fans love D-Slots. The drivers not so much.
I don't think so.
You're limited how many times you come off the racetrack. And in a track like this, a lot of tight turns and tight corners, a lot of beating and banging, it means you come off the track a lot and a lot of hard feelings after some of these races.
That's the second half of the season. That means it's silly season. Crocky! Lewis Hamilton going to Ferrari for Mercedes.
That Mercedes seat opened up, and I heard they're talking to John Weidman. He's leading the points right now. He's a steady driver. George Russell needs to learn from somebody. He could learn from John Weidman.
Absolutely. He could learn from John Weidman. And then the big question is who's going to go to Angry Squirrel Speed Sports? It opens up the whole silly season here in IndySlotCar.
I think that's where Sainz might go if he loses the Ferrari ride. He looks like a squirrel.
I guess he'd be all right, but I think we'd be better in D-Slot races than him.
That's right. We'll go check it out next.
You are looking live. Some people call it Quarry Higgets. Some people call it Quarry Heights. This is Deslotmania. Look at that front row, Lee Skippy. It's a pair of teammates and a pair of ex-champions.
Absolutely. That is Mike Lack there with another pole on the season and followed him by the Canadian strongman, Dean Strom.
And then the second row, a pair of teammates. Oh, my.
Oh, my. El Matador, Mike Kristoff, followed by the current champion, Joe Height.
You know, Mike Kristoff loves out-qualifying his teammates.
He absolutely does.
How about this row right here?
Not teammates, but another ex-champion. That's John Wiedemann, Hota Doble.
And in the final moments of qualifying, this driver bumped his way into the field.
Unbelievable. That's James Spirit, the rookie, leading contender for Rookie of the Year, by the way.
And here comes Steve Riss. My, oh, my, the fast squirrel guys are fast tonight.
They all fast, and following up right behind them, it's Brad Corr.
Oh, you don't think it isn't?
No, it is definitely Brad Corr.
Who do we got here?
That is Pete Dorn. That's Chris Spirit.
Here is our last chance grid.
John Shea right there, followed by Dan Margetta, followed by Ev Kamikawa, followed by Matt Hayek. Those four guys are going to duke it out in the last chance qualifier.
Somebody's going to leave here disappointed.
Two guys, but you know what? There's some great desserts there in the kitchen.
It is a D-Slot race, and this is Quarry Heights, the Quarryfest D-Slotmania.
No, they do not. Here we go with the last chance qualifier. These four drivers battling for two positions into the field of 12. We're into the second half of this LCQ, and right now it is Dan Margetta and Ev Kamikawa in those transfer spots, with John Shea trying to close in on the crowd. And it looks like Dan Margetta is going to hold on to the lead over Ev Kamikawa. Ev is going to outdistance his Team Penske HO teammate John Shea for the last qualifier position. Here is the last couple of seconds countdown, and they will advance. We are underway in the first heat of Quarryfest Deslotmania. We've got Ev Kamikawa, Steve Rist, John Wiedemann, and Pete Dorn. And in this D-Slot format, Ev Kamikawa has his first D-Slot already.
Yeah, that's not real good way to start, especially coming from the last chance qualifier. He's had some experience in this track. He should know where the tough points are.
Pete Dorn with a D-Slot there. So early on, we've got John Wiedemann, Steve Rist, our FAST teammates. Remember, submit those guesses as to what the hell FAST stands for, or suggestions. Whoa, they were banging wheels down here in the final corner, but they managed to keep it on the track.
I heard the thud, but we don't have any D-slots, so somehow they straightened it out. Ev Kamikawa had a good run coming from the LCQ, but not so good in the heat race. He had some issues early.
Yeah. In my head, I'm still in.
Okay, I thought maybe sometimes they flip D-slots from the driver to you.
In my head, I'm still in.
All right, he thinks he's still in. He's still racing, even though he's back here in the paddock.
In my head.
Apparently, while we were talking Ed, in his head, the drivers over here were messing up, and they all crashed out. We missed it, sorry, because we were having the interview. But this is the one guy that was left. Steve Rist is apparently the winner here. What just happened? Because I've never seen this before.
I don't know what happened, but I tell you what, no one likes D-Slot.
Start of the second heat race here at the Quarry Heights Deslotmania. One D-Slot already. For Dan Margetta, James Spirit, Dean Strom, Mike Kristoff in this race. Once again, you get 3 D slots, 2 free. The third one, you are out. And you saw on the end of that first heat race, lots of crashes, 3 drivers out, 1 makes it to the final. Dan Margetta has 1 D slot. The other drivers have 2, which means that Dan's got a little bit of an advantage because he's got a D slot to give. The other drivers, they pick up a D slot, they are done. And that was a big shunt there. That's his 3rd D slot. Mike Kristoff, oh, that sucked.
Yeah, we're trying to push things. We had a lot of hill to climb to catch both Dean and Dan, so I just had to lay it all out there.
But are you still racing in your head?
Oh, in my head, I'm still racing. Absolutely. In fact, yeah, look at that. Wow. That was another good lap.
30 seconds to go. Dan Margetta was leading until an off and a slow Marshall puts him behind Dean Strom. By coincidence, the Marshall was Dean Strom's teammate. Oh, potential controversy, at least in some people's minds. 10 seconds to go. Margetta reeling in Strom. They both, all 3 of them have two D slots. Oh. And that was Strom's 3rd. Oh no! Transfer your winner to Dan Margetta.
Just a heartbreak right at the end of that heat. Can you describe your feelings at this moment, Dean?
I don't have anything to say, thanks.
Okay. So evidently he's not racing in his head right now. But I think I know what he's saying in his head right now. It is the 3rd heat race to determine the finalists of the Quarryfest Deslotmania. You've got your previous race winner, Joe Heights. Chris Speart, already a D slot for Joe early on. Mike Lack, your pole sitter tonight. And Brad Core. Looks like Mike Lack has pulled out over Brad. And then Chris Speart running 3rd. Joe Heights is going to need to make up some distance after that early D slot.
Usually we're used to seeing you here after the race, and it's all party time and everything else. But it's a little
drink.
So it's a little early, though. What happened?
You got this Spirit Racing coming from the final qualifier here, almost in the back of the pack. Tried racing me, and we clipped wings twice, and it took me out.
John Weaven didn't make it either, so you're both going to be spectators.
Hey, it's that kind of night, man. It happens.
And we're coming down on the finish here. About 2 minutes to go yet, with Joe out of the race. It looks like it leaves Mike, as Mike Lack is leading. Lack, your pole sitter, will probably...
Could we have 2 back-to-back pole winners?
Can you imagine that? He winning the money the second week after that big take that Joe Heights did. He'll be lucky if Mike Lack's got gas money if he wins. The transfer position is what's in stake here. And right now, Brad Core has got it. He has passed James Speart, who was holding on to it. And look at James Speart. What a great run for the rookie. James Speart's dad, Chris, is the guy that's racing Brad Core for that final transfer spot.
Yeah, evidently he's not trying real hard because he hasn't done anything to take Brad out.
No, he only tries real hard and he's next to Joe Heights. But here it is. Race is over. Brad Core will get the transfer. There's your winner, Mike Lack, your pole sitter.
Dino Bravo. I am him. You are not. You are watching IndySlotCar TV, and this is the Quarry Heights Deslotmania. Dan Margetta, Doritos party size or Wavy Lay's party size?
I'm going to go with Doritos because that's...
Take them.
What we
Go
got.
ahead. No, not the whole bag. Just have some.
I want them all, man.
All right, man.
From what I went through last year, I can't complain. I was trying to find a ride last year. I sent an application to the Squirrel guys. I got it back.
Dina,
Oh, they said the applicant is not a competitive participant, whatever the hell that means. Try again in 2028. So then I went,
wow.
Cheap Ganassi. He about run me over in the motorhome lot.
I know. Yeah.
And then,
he runs some other things over in the motorhome.
He didn't even stop. So I had to go to sign up the CBD. It worked out.
Poor dog never saw him coming.
No, I know. I signed with CBD. I signed that contract, and the stock went up $42 a share the minute I signed, but they don't bring my car to the track, but I got to take it.
Brad Core is in this race?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Hang on a second.
Yeah.
I got to check my notes. Hang on.
Yeah. Scoring will confirm, absolutely.
All right. Doritos or Wavy Lays?
Wavy Lays. I had
Help yourself.
Oh, please, don't mind. Yeah.
You're not going to get any on your... You got some on yourself. Jeez, for Christ's sakes, Brad, your mouth's up here. Do better than that in the race. This part of the broadcast is brought to you by Hams. the official beer of Angry Squirrel Fast Racing. Hey, and here's an Angry Squirrel Fast guy with the official beer. What's going on there?
Much. I'm just glad to be in the final.
Mister, you want Doritos original nacho? That's nacho cheese. Or do you want the wavy lays?
No, I'll stick with the hams.
He's sticking with the hams, ladies and gentlemen. All right, the slot race. What's the strategy?
Stay in.
You keep it in the slot.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, this interview ain't go nowhere. No, ain't go nowhere. All right, you go race now. That is the Steve Rist. He drank the hams beer, like the Dino. He drank. Hey, he's another guy who drank the hams.
Darn right.
All right, do you want the nacho cheese Doritos or the wavy lays?
I gotta have this because this is nacho cheese.
That's nacho cheese. Have some wavy lays there, brother. All right, now don't get
There
them
we
all.
go.
He got big mouth. He get them all in his mouth.
That's what I'm doing to the competition tonight.
That's what he's doing to the cop.
Chomp them all.
He's the Mike Lack. He's the fastest qualifier.
You know what though? I'm
Do
a
what?
week too late. If I were to win tonight and I win that pole thing,
That Joe took all the
I
money.
took all the money last week.
Idiot.
I know. I'll still buy around.
All right, there's the Mike Lack. There the field, the four. The four that going to race in the slot race.
It is the final of Quarryfest, Deslotmania. And a slow start there for Brad. Look at that. Mike Lack has jumped out to a huge lead already over Steve Rist. So that's Lack in the black and yellow. Here comes Rist in the white and blue. And then there is Dan Margetta trying to push past Steve for third. Brad Core not far behind. Margetta trying to pick his spot to pass Rist. Can't quite do it in the straightaways, so he stays behind him up in the corkscrew. And now he's by him. Oh, yeah, we've got spotters out there. How about that? So far, everybody's clean about a minute and a half into the and a couple of cars out right there.
that goes to blue. That was still in blue.
So is just Margetta with the D slot right there. Just as we were talking about it, the announcer's curse. Once again, coming up on halfway with Mike Lack continuing to hold a solid lead over Dan Margetta. It's about 6 laps up now. Steve Rist with 2 D slots at this moment. So Brad unfortunately had a D slot right there in the carousel, and he's done. But he'll finish 4th tonight. A solid finish for Brad. But the chase is definitely on with Steve Rist running some very quick laps. And there he goes past Dan Margetta into 2nd place. So we're hearing that Lack now is going quicker. Of course, he can afford to do that. He's got just the 1 D slot, so he could come out a couple of times. Oh, and Dan Margetta just had his last D slot up there going into the carousel. So Steve Rist is a solid 2nd place no matter what happens at this point. And that's it. As Rist just had his last D slot, Mike Lack wins for the 3rd time this season.
Dino Bravo, this is Victory Lane! Mike Lack, you kept it in the slot.
Yeah, I like it in the slot.
Congratulations on the win. It almost went the distance. Were you surprised?
Almost. I was surprised. I thought, Steve was coming quick. Dan, whenever Margetta and I get in a slot race.
You were in the same slot.
Right. It always happens. So then I raced him, and he was out of the slot.
Congratulations on the win. Let's bring in track owner Matt Hayek, who's got a trophy, a checkered flag, and some money.
Ooh. Very
Matt,
Trophy, congratulations on the win tonight. Great running. Got a flag, not worth anything, but hey, I got 14,000 IndySlotCar dollars that you can make rain and give to the strippers.
Well, if I make it rain, it's not. It's drizzle.
It's just a mist. yeah. The Heights took all the money last week, so we started over. And congratulations on your big payday.
Well, it'll be a good start at the bar, right? Maybe it's not a good start, right?
It is a start. It's a start. Yeah. Once again, congratulations on that.
Very much. Woo!
Mike Lack, the winner. He stayed in the slot the longest. He won the Deslotmania at the Heights Quarry.
The IndySlotCar series thanks you for watching the IndySlotCar channel.
This is a part of that.
Part of that what, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That
No, you were actually in different slots. Different. Because he was in the one slot and you were in the other slot.
All right.